Flooding the Colosseum, the epic naval battles of ancient Rome. You've heard of Gladiators. You've seen the blood-soaked sands of the Colosseum dramatized in films. But what if I told you that Rome's greatest arena didn't just host fights between men and beasts, but full-scale naval battles? That the Colosseum, yes, the giant stone amphitheater in the heart of Rome, was once flooded with water, turned into a vast artificial lake, and used to reenact epic sea wars. As unbelievable as it sounds, this isn't legend. This is real. Welcome to the naumachiae, Rome's most extravagant and mind-blowing public spectacles, battles on water, inside a stadium.
Please do well to like and subscribe to this channel if you haven't, as an encouragement for more of this kind of content.
Let's go back nearly 2,000 years. The Roman Empire is at its peak. The emperors rule not just with armies, but with grandeur. They understand something modern leaders do too, the power of entertainment. Give the people bread and spectacle, panem et circenses, and you keep them loyal, distracted, in awe. And nothing inspired awe quite like the Colosseum, also known as the Flavian Amphitheater. Built under Emperor Vespasian and completed by his son Titus in 80 AD, the Colosseum was designed to be the ultimate arena. 50,000 seats, towering architecture, trapdoors, underground tunnels, and mechanical lifts. It was an engineering marvel. But the most jaw-dropping use of this structure? Turning it into a giant swimming pool, big enough to float ships. It sounds insane. And yet, the Romans made it happen. Historical records, including those of Suetonius and Cassius Dio, describe the inaugural games held by Emperor Titus, which included a staged naval battle. For the event, the Colosseum's arena was flooded with water, and specially designed flat-bottom ships were launched. Crews of trained combatants, often prisoners or slaves, reenacted famous sea battles for a roaring crowd. These weren't little mock fights either. They were violent, deadly, and massive in scale. Some battles involved hundreds of men and multiple ships, all maneuvering and clashing in a shallow, artificial lake, with painted sails, real weapons, and thunderous crowd reactions echoing off marble walls. But how did they flood an arena of stone? The Colosseum was built with a sophisticated drainage and aqueduct system beneath it. While the later Hypogeum, the underground structure used for animals and gladiators, would eventually make flooding impossible, during the early years of the amphitheater, engineers used channels to divert water into the arena. It took immense planning, manpower, and resources, but Rome spared no expense to impress its people. These naumachiae weren't just for fun. They were political theater. Emperors used them to demonstrate power, a message to both citizens and enemies. We are so mighty, we can wage war for sport. When the emperor could stage a sea battle in the middle of the city, it said more than 100 speeches ever could. There's even evidence that these water battles included themed storylines. They would recreate historical Roman victories, often rigged so the Romans won again, a patriotic show of dominance. Sometimes mythological scenes were dramatized, turning the arena into a living stage of legend and glory. But it didn't last forever. As the Colosseum evolved and the Hypogeum was built under the arena floor, the space could no longer be flooded. Gladiator games, wild animal hunts, and stage performances took over. The naval battles faded into history, surviving only in dusty scrolls, ancient reliefs, and the imagination. Still, for a time, the Colosseum was not just an amphitheater. It was a sea of war, where men rode, fought, and died under the eyes of emperors and thousands of Roman citizens. So, the next time you see the ruins of the Colosseum, imagine it not as dry stone and broken seats, but as a place alive with shouts, splashing oars, painted sails, and steel clashing on wood. Picture the arena shimmering under the Roman sun, filled not with sand, but with water. A stadium turned ocean, where empire met spectacle in the most dramatic way imaginable.